There is a scam being perpetrated on California homebuyers, a racket that's extracting hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars from the pockets of everyday Californians struggling to buy a home. And incredibly, this grift is legal. It's not a loophole in the system, it's how the system has been designed to work. The Department of Justice doesn't like it and filed a warning that legal action could be coming. But for now, if you want to buy a home in California, it's almost impossible to do so without getting swindled by the California Association of Realtors. And I know this because I am a California realtor. The call's coming from inside the house, right? Quick background. My wife and I are serial home buyers, and after our third home, I realized my realtors had taken way too much money, so I became a realtor myself. And now that I'm on the inside like a Russian mole, I take great joy and professional pride in exposing this con and helping California homebuyers avoid it. If you're planning a California home purchase, this is a video you cannot afford to skip. I'm Jon Schwartz, and as I've already confessed, I am a California realtor, but I make my living by keeping homebuyers away from the racket I'm about to describe. Last year, I saved my clients just over $180,000, and this year, I'm shooting for $1 million. Learn more at jonsch.com, that's JONSCH.com. And our story begins with this. The Modesto Turlock Board of Realtors Multiple Listing Service Book, Volume 12, dated March 22nd, 1985. Ronald Reagan was president. I was the king of my kindergarten class. And computer interfaces looked like this.
Oh, hey, you got it back.
Gotta make a note of that one.
And if you wanted to buy a home in Modesto, California in March 1985, you had two options. One, you could spend hours driving in circles around Modesto, looking for a house with a for sale sign, calling the number on the sign to inquire about bedrooms and bathrooms and price, then repeat and repeat and repeat until you found just the right home. Or two, you use this guy, the monthly MLS book that contains listings of all the homes for sale in Modesto, broken up by area, bedroom count, and price. Make a list of what you want to see, then go see them, then make an offer on your favorite. So which would you choose? Dozens of weekends spent driving in circles, or a couple of hours with the listings book and a handful of targeted viewings? Obvious choice, right? Well, here's the catch. Actually, it's right there. Confidential. Ownership of the real estate data contained herein is and shall remain the sole and exclusive property of the Modesto Turlock Board of Realtors. The confidential information herein may not be displayed, distributed, or reproduced. This publication was not public. To get access to this information, you had to hire a realtor. And you basically needed to anyway, given how cryptic these listings were. Here's one I like. All right, we have 931 Rumble East. It's in R1 zoning, single family, 4-bed, 2.5 bath, AG, blah, 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 blah. Square footage, 2,000. Lot size, 97 by 81. Elementary school, Sherwood. FDR no, GAR2 car, FPS, FLR wood. Roof, shake, height sent, AC sent. Terms, conventional, FVA, energy and gas, 220 volts. Appliances, range oven, dishwasher, disposal, cable, Garo, miscellaneous, patio, spring, sidewalk, fence, curb. And here's the description. ER, terrific home for LG family walk to Sherwood, Somerset, and Bayer storage galore. Huge covered patio with new carpet. LRFR and MBR, new solarium floor in Kitden. Vaulted ceilings in FRLR to seal. Real Rock FP shows well. By the way, here's 931 East Rumble Road today. It most recently sold in 2021 for $475,000, and from the listing we read, it sold in August 1985 for $103,000. That was 9.5% below list price. That doesn't happen these days. Anyway, back to 1985. Back then, realtors had a legitimate offering for homebuyers. It was monopolistic and exploitative, but realtors offered a real value proposition. If you wanted to buy a house, you could go solo and maybe found a house you liked after much searching and maybe feel like you'd canvassed enough of the market to feel comfortable with your choice. Or you could hire a realtor, get access to the list of every home for sale in your market, and purchase a home much more quickly and much more confidently, knowing that you had seen and weighed all of your options. And for that service, realtors charged a 2.5% or 3% commission. And just to be clear, that's not the scam. Charging money for access to organized information is a legitimate business model, whether you're talking about Encyclopedia Britannica or nytimes.com or ChatGPT. Realtors maintained an iron grip on property listings and charged consumers for access. Fair. Now jump ahead 20 years. Bill Clinton is president. I'm a college grad. And if you type Zillow.com into your Netscape web browser, you'll see this: the beginnings of a monumental shift in how consumers access home listings and buy homes. Flash forward to now, and I can't tell you how they did it. I only know that it involved a lot of lawsuits. But now Zillow and Redfin and Realtor.com and Homes.com and a host of other platforms make virtually every listing in America available and accessible to any consumer for free. And these interfaces are so much better than what was in this book. Instead of a compilation of abbreviations that require a realtor's translation, you get pictures, videos, 3D self-guided tours. And instead of scanning page after page to find attractive addresses, you can literally draw a big circle around the area you want to consider, enter how many bedrooms and bathrooms you want, enter your budget, and you immediately have home listings curated for you. And then you can save that search, and Redfin or Zillow or Realtor.com or any of these platforms will email you when new homes come to market and tell you when they're having open houses so you can go and take a look. It's practically magic compared to what it used to be, and it's available to everyone and it's free. So then, how the hell are realtors still getting away with charging California homebuyers a 2.5% or 3% commission? Well, I'll tell you how. And then I'm going to tell you how not to get shaken down for 2.5% or 3% when you buy your home. TLDR, visit jonch.com where you can get the homebuyer services you need at a fraction of the traditional cost and without any exclusive representation agreement. That's jonsch.com. But now let's get back to the juicy stuff. So in 1985, the realtor's value proposition was easy. You pay me, I show you book. Nowadays, with listings in the public domain, realtors have to bend over backwards to present a value proposition at all. Like this full-page newspaper ad from 2024 that lists the 111 things that a homebuyer would have to do on their own if they didn't hire a realtor. Things like virtually preview properties that you're interested in, which is not the same thing as browsing Zillow or Redfin for free, obviously, or narrow down your top home choices for a closer look before considering making any offer, which, of course, is impossible for an adult homebuyer to do on their own, or take note of the location and details of your closing meeting. Because, of course, taking note is a specialized skill that you'll only find in a trained realtor. In reality, realtors do help homebuyers through the process, and they deserve some reasonable compensation for their guidance. Your average American buys a home once or twice in a lifetime, and a good realtor helps clients through the cumbersome home buying process dozens of times a year. There's a lot of value to having that kind of experience in your corner. But a realtor will be the first to tell you that he's going to stay in his lane. It's literally enshrined in Article 2 of the National Association of Realtors Code of Ethics. Realtors shall not advise on matters outside the scope of their real estate license. In other words, if you ask a realtor whether a home is well built, he'll tell you he's not a certified home inspector. If you ask a realtor whether you could remove a wall to expand a kitchen, she'll tell you she's not a licensed contractor. And if you ask a realtor anything about the many legal documents you'll be signing, well, guess what? Your realtor will remind you that he is not a lawyer. Now, some realtors, and I'm not just tooting my own horn here, there are many of us like this, but some realtors have actual experience owning multiple homes in different California cities, dealing with property taxes, maintenance, defects, renovations, big and small. And realtors like that, realtors like me, can at least speak from personal experience to answer a lot of homebuyer questions. And that is valuable. But a realtor whose only real estate experience is passing the state real estate exam, don't expect much. So what a lot of realtors do, and this predates social media, but has just exploded on Instagram, is present themselves as neighborhood experts. The value proposition in hiring them is the new relationship you gain with a special and unique neighborhood pro who knows the best coffee shops, the best contractors, and the best schools. Which is all well and good, I guess, except as we've already covered, It's not 1985 anymore.
Circuit City's cut prices to the bare bones. It's the Price Slasher sale.
You don't buy a TV based on the recommendation of one salesman at Circuit City.
This 13-inch color TV, only $139.97.
Not when YouTube and Amazon have an endless supply of information and reviews for every television available. You can pay 2.5% or 3% of your home's purchase price to get a coffee shop recommendation from a realtor, or use Yelp. Your realtor might have had a good experience with a contractor, but Thumbtack.com or Angie.com will offer you contractors with positive reviews from dozens of clients. And sure, your realtor might know the schools in your area, but greatschools.org exists to score schools based on objective data and collect reviews from school parents. So I'm not saying neighborhood pro realtors are full of shit. I'm just saying their value proposition is pretty fucking weak. And honestly, I think realtors appreciate just how weak their value proposition is because in 2024, as part of the settlement to an antitrust lawsuit that they lost, realtors changed their own rules to really ratchet up their gatekeeping of the home buying process and really bully homebuyers into coughing up that 2.5% or 3% commission. Let me explain. As of August 2024, homebuyers have to agree in writing by signing a contract to pay their agent's commission before even seeing a property. I mean, come on, talk about moving the goalposts. In 1985, it was pay me so you can see the book. In 2025, with all this information now available to the public, it's, okay, forget the book. Now you got to pay me to get inside the front door. And officially, a realtor's commission is negotiable. But good luck finding an agent who'll show you a home for less than 2.5%. Literally, the first thing new agents learn when they join a brokerage is how to legitimize their absurd commission demand, or worse, mislead their potential clients into thinking there's really no commission to pay at all. The line new agents learn to deliver is this: don't worry, we'll negotiate my commission into the offer so that the seller pays it. Sounds great, right? The seller's going to pay the commission. You don't have to worry about a thing. The seller's got it covered. Well, let's see what this actually looks like, shall we? Let's say you're offering $1 million on a sweet, sweet starter home in coastal San Diego. And because your realtor is so crafty, he's included his 2.5% commission in the offer so that the seller will pay it. Well, guess what, Einstein? You just offered $975,000 for that home and lost it to the guy who actually offered $1 million. It is such a racket. California realtors expend so much energy insisting on their value, arguing their essentialness, even conning you into thinking you're not really footing the bill at all. And whether you buy their bullshit or not, the joke's on you because you have to sign a contract just to get in the front door. So look, whether you visit jonsch.com, that's JONSCH.com, to learn how I do things differently or not, here's some actionable advice to keep from falling for the California realtor grift. Firstly, get out there and get some laps in on your own. Open houses are always free and accessible without having to sign a representation agreement. You don't have to be offer ready or working with an agent to go to open houses and get some experience chatting up the agent there. Find a few open houses this weekend and go check them out. Secondly, don't sign on with any realtor until you actually like the person. If a realtor sticks a contract in your face before you've had a chance to get to know them, keep walking. They'll tell you it's just the new rules. They'll tell you it's what everyone does. They'll tell you that the seller will pay the commission. Just keep walking. Thirdly, never sign an exclusive representation agreement. It obligates you to pay that agent a commission whether you work with them or not. I'm currently working on a whole video about representation agreements and how to make sure you don't accidentally sign the exclusivity clause. That video will be right here as soon as it's complete, and if it's not right here, subscribe so you see it when it posts. And be sure to check out my 2025 California Homebuyers Guide for all the latest information you need to make smart home buying decisions this year.